This is Ashton with Keller Williams Real Estate. We're in Keys, Chaos, and Client Tales today. Wow, Piper really likes you.
Aw, she probably smells my Doberman.
I usually tell people, like, Piper's really shy. Don't take it personally if she doesn't invade your space.
Yeah,
She's going to invade yours.
I love it. That's cool.
No problem, right?
Yeah, that's cool. I love it.
All right, this is Armand. Armand is a real estate agent at Keller Williams North Sound with me. How long have you been in real estate?
Ashton, this May will be my 10th year anniversary.
Wow,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A whole decade.
Yeah.
That makes you a master, doesn't it?
I tell you what, when I first started, I had jet black hair. So now it's turning platinum, and I owe each one of these to one of my transactions.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
You'll never know how long I've been in real estate. I'm going to keep this colored forever.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Armand, I'm sure in 10 years you have had plenty of stories of chaos and client tales.
Mm-hmm.
What one is sticking out the most for you right now?
Yeah, great question, Ashton. So in a decade, probably 250 transactions since I started. And
Wow.
we've had some serious ups and downs and some that have been really smooth. But I'll tell you, one that really comes to mind was something that was super unexpected. And it kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop. So fortunately enough, we have very good lending, which is so important. People always ask, Armand, how important is your lender? And it's even more important than having a good real estate agent, because at the end of the day, if our lenders aren't worth a salt or whatever you want to call it, then we actually have no job, right? If the lender can't get them through the financing, then what's the point, right?
If we don't have the money to buy the house, which is what the lender provides,
right.
If we don't have the money, then we can't buy the house.
Then we're pretty much professional home showers, right?
Woo!
Yeah, with no paycheck. So one that sticks out, it was really interesting. It was a contingent transaction, meaning we had put our home on the market just shortly after we had made an offer on another home.
Okay.
So purchasing the home, which was going to be their forever home, meant that they needed some of the cash out of the sale of their home to finance the one they're buying.
Makes sense.
Okay. So everything was going smooth on the purchase. Everything was going pretty darn smooth on the one we were selling until about a week before closing.
No.
Right. And it's always
last minute.
It's always right before closing. So this is with every T crossed, every I dotted. Things are going smooth as butter.
Yeah.
And I get a call from my client's lender, and it says, Armand, we ran into a challenge. Now, here's what I love about my lender, my client's lender.
I hate those calls, by the way.
Right? Yeah, they can be a little bit unnerving, right?
Yeah.
Because we've run into a challenge. So the good news with my lender is typically when they say they have a challenge, they already have a solution.
That's good.
It's important, right?
I only want to hear about the problem if I also have a solution to fix the problem.
Absolutely, right? Because we're calling more to just kind of let us know, Armand, here's the challenge, but here is the workaround. And so I said, great, hit me with the challenge. He goes, you've never heard of this one? And well, almost every transaction we hear of something different or new.
Yeah.
Right? So with this one, the lender says, okay, so you're, what's that?
I'm so scared.
Yeah.
You've never heard of this before. I mean, I've heard of a lot in my 7 years. You've heard of a lot in your 10 years.
Right.
So never heard of this before.
This is a new one. So Ashton, are you familiar with what a swim spa is?
Yeah, it's like a mega-sized hot tub.
Absolutely.
Right?
This one happened to be 14 feet long, by about 7 feet wide, and it was about 5 feet deep. So
a party tub.
Like a party tub, right? You can use them for parties, right?
Yeah.
You can fit, I think, up to 12 to 14 people in this thing. Or one person can get in there, and with the flow, they can swim.
Yep.
So a swim spa. Okay, yes, my clients have a swim spa. Lender says, Armand, we were just informed that the swim spa was tied to the title of the home. And I'm like thinking, that's interesting because I've sold homes, Ashton, and you probably have too, with hot tubs.
Yeah.
Right? Not a big deal, right? We've sold homes with solar panels.
Yep.
And have you ever run into a situation where the lender says the solar panels are tied to the home?
I've had the solar panels have a lien,
Correct.
right? Is that what we're talking about with the swim spa?
Ultimately, a lien, meaning
Yep.
that when you sell the property, the lien needs to be paid off.
Right.
So with solar panels, typically what I've heard, because we don't sell many homes with them, we know it's coming. Typically, the seller or buyer have to agree to pay them off, right?
Yep.
Sometimes I have heard there are situations where the buyer can take over the loan, the
Mm-hmm.
existing payment, because that solar is attached to the house. It's going to stay with the house and it's a utility, right? Well, in this instance, it turned out the swim spa needed to be paid off out of the proceeds of the sale of the home. Well, this swim spa happened to be very, very expensive.
So to make sure we're super clear on this, the sellers of the house bought a swim spa, but instead of paying cash for it, they financed the swim spa.
Correct.
Super common, especially on big purchases.
Very expensive purchases.
But when they finance it, the amount of the swim spa and the financing was leveraged against their house.
Correct.
So
Correct. And so the interesting part is my sellers didn't know that. They were never informed that that was going to happen in any way, shape, or form. They thought they were simply taking out a loan for the swim spa and making their monthly payment, and when it was paid off, they owned it. But what happened is it was tied to the home. So ultimately, the lender was able to recoup the monies for the swim spa upon the home selling. So whatever that figure and value was, and it was very large, it changed the dynamics of what my clients were going to be receiving for their
Right.
net proceeds,
Sure.
which then affected their down payment on the new home that they were purchasing.
Right. I forgot the other half of this is that they're also buying.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So here's where having a phenomenal next level, as we like to say in the business, gangster or ninja lender, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I says, okay, to my lender, great. So you've told me about this challenge. We now know that this has to happen. Where are we going to come up with said dollar figure, which was actually pretty darn expensive?
Yep.
And I'll give you an example of expensive. It's in the range of maybe a new car expensive, right?
Okay.
Okay, so a
Okay.
couple bucks.
Couple thousands.
Yes, a couple thousands, a couple tens of thousands. So ultimately, what my lender was able to do was change their financing program. So, for example, they were already set on terms with one specific loan. Their down payment was set. The seller was okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was good to go. The lender said, in order to make this work so that my seller, which is the buyer of the other home, had enough money to put down on the home they were buying to keep their mortgage within a certain range, right?
Yep. Yep.
They had to change to a different loan.
Okay.
Now, a couple things come into effect here when you change a loan, as you know,
Yep.
right? The appraisal.
Yep.
Okay. So we had already had an appraisal for the house they were buying under X loan. Well, the good news is the loan that they were moving to, that appraisal still worked for that loan.
Whew. Good.
Right?
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
So it actually ends up getting better and working out to a benefit to my seller.
Okay. Was the new loan a better interest rate?
It was actually a much higher interest rate.
Oh, wow.
So when we have a higher interest rate, what happened to the payment of the home they were buying?
It went up.
It went up.
Higher
So-
interest rate means higher payments.
Right. But what happened with this specific loan program that they got, it allowed them to pay off not only the spa, which took away now a payment that they thought they were going to still have, but
Right.
they were able to pay off some other debt, some credit card debt, maybe a car loan. So ultimately what happened was, even though the new loan carried a higher interest rate, so their mortgage went up from what they thought they were going to pay, because they were able to pay off some other debt, that monies that they now didn't have to pay actually offset their new mortgage and then some. So they ended up in the plus category
Nice.
because they didn't have all these other payments.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, what we were able to do, what my phenomenal lender was able to do, was actually come back to my clients and say, hey, we've run into this challenge, but here's the solution. And my seller said, let me get this straight. My seller/buyer. So let me get this straight. So we have this major problem, but it's actually going to work out to our benefit now. And it did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Go ahead, name drop. Who's your lender? The company that they worked for.
Prime lending.
Prime Lending. Prime Lending got the job done.
They always get the job done.
Fixed it.
Fixed it.
Made it not a problem.
Right.
Made it actually a good thing.
Yeah, made it a benefit to my buyer slash seller. And what they took from it was like, okay, Armand, we remembered that conversation we had with you initially when they said, hey, we want, we're thinking about going through our bank as a lender. And I always tell people, okay, that's great. And that's an option. However, would you be open to a second opinion? And here's why. And so part of the reason that is, again, like we talked about before, Ashton, is we're only as good as your lender.
My big thing with banks is that they are paid an hourly wage. So whether you get the deal or not, they don't really care. Whereas our lenders that we work with a lot, they are mortgage brokers. They're 100% commission based,
Right.
just like we are.
Right.
So they're going to make sure that they do everything possible to get you the house, because that's literally like the food on their kitchen table.
Absolutely. And you think about being 100% commission, and here's what I think about it. Commission-based equals performance-based, right?
Yeah.
It's all about performance. And if you're incentivized to work a certain way, then you will. You'll learn the things, you'll be able to execute and get through some of these challenges. We saw a lot of that during COVID when it was really difficult for financing,
Yeah.
and the really strong lenders and realtors who could navigate these tricky situations survived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming, Armand.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I know with 10 years in the business, you're going to have more stories. So we'd love to have you come back another time.
Yeah,
That would
I've
be
got a
awesome.
few more. You say the word, and
Okay.
we will talk about them. That one just came to mind because in all of the things that we deal with, would we ever think that a hot tub / swim spa could be the reason a deal would fall apart?
I've seen solar panels make a deal fall apart. So equating a swim spa with a solar panel,
Pretty similar.
I can see
Yeah.
how that would make things just,
Yeah, all
ah,
the things.
yep. Not to say that solar panels are bad. Solar
great.
panels are fantastic.
Yeah.
We love them. However, it's an additional expense when you go to sell the house because you have to pay it off. And that changes all the numbers around.
Yeah.
I would love to hear some crazy stories from you about like the worst showings that you've been on.
Okay.
That I've walked into homes where somebody walked out of the shower in their towel while I'm there with my clients. What?
That happened to me once.
Yep. Somebody sleeping in the bed.
Yep.
While I'm showing my clients around.
Sellers had forgotten we were coming.
Yep. That's happened multiple times. Yep. I have had a tree fall on a house the week before closing.
Okay.
Sellers had already moved out, so the house was vacant. Tree fell because of a storm. Duh.
Yeah.
So, of course, now the house is also flooded.
Yeah.
Because there's rain coming in the ceiling.
Wow.
Nobody knew. I'm sure you've got a ton of stories too. So let's get together. Let's talk some more. But thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Keys, Chaos, and Client Tales. And if you ever want to talk real estate, drop a comment below. I'm on all the social media platforms. You can find me anywhere under Ashton Faye or Ashton for Homes. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
That was good.
Yes.
That was really good.